Well, hello there, folks. It's Chris Meaux. It's Saturday, May the 5th, as some people might call it, Cinco de Mayo, or probably Mayo, right? It's not a condiment. Welcome to the Not So Big Show with Chris Meaux. Sorry, let me turn down my music. Yes, this is the kind of music that I listen to. Let me give you a taste of it. Wait, some percussion. Yes. Yes. 'Tis warrior music, my friends. It is the kind of music I do listen to as I drive my car forth through the streets of Lafayette here. Welcome. It's Saturday, May 5th. I'm Chris Meaux. This is the Not So Big Show with Chris Meaux. The first one in a long time, and I recognize that, and I will talk a bit of why that is. As you can see, I'm wearing a Captain America t-shirt, and I'm still caught in the glow of being near the white-hot core of awesomeness that was the Avengers. I went to see it Thursday, really yesterday morning at 12 in the morning, midnight showing. And I will speak more of that in a moment. But it was amazing, and I've got so much to say about it. In fact, I might even make it a separate entry, my review. But I'm on my way back. Last time I entered a video, I was on the road. And now I'm on the road again, this time coming back from the comic shop. Today is Cinco de Mayo for some people, which is apparently not even a real holiday. It's apparently made up by the alcohol companies. That's what I've been told, by the liquor salespeople, the liquor types. What do you call those? Liquor women? I don't know. That's getting very bizarre. Let's move on. Anyway, but it's also, in North America at least, Free Comic Book Day. Okay, now you're thinking, geez, is that true? Is that possible? Free Comic Book Day? And look, let me show you one of the free comics that they gave out today that I have. And see how it says Free Comic Book Day right there at the top? So yes, today is Free Comic Book Day. And that's only, now let me point out where this is before you go to like Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and you're like, yeah, I need a free comic book. Because they're not going to give you one there, okay? And also, if you talk like that, they'll probably be a little afraid. Free Comic Book Day began the summer of, I believe, 2002. It coincided with the release of the first Spider-Man film, okay, which was the first Spider-Man movie that was good, all right, of the three. And the next one was good, and then the third one, better. We don't even really think or speak of it. And Free Comic Book Day is designed to get the non-reader, the person who's seen a comic book film, into what we call a comic specialty shop or store. And what a comic specialty shop is exactly that. It specializes in comic books and related specialty merchandise and accoutrement of the genre, if you will. Okay, collected comics, graphic novels, which are different than collections, comic books themselves. People often ask me, my students in the past and other people that aren't familiar, they're like, wait, comic books still come out? I'm like, yeah, they're still being published. They come out every week. Every Wednesday there's a new installment of thousands of titles, really. And from various publishers, DC, Marvel being the big two. You have Image, which some people are probably familiar with, and then you also have Dark Horse, which very few people watching this have probably ever heard of. But anyway, and so it's been going on since '02. So this is the 10th, if I'm not mistaken. This is the 10th annual Free Comic Book Day. We have two comic book shops in the Lafayette area. The first that I will mention, really the only one I'm going to mention, is Acadiana Comics and Collectibles. And I have been going there since roughly, I would think, 88, 89. Okay. Since I was about, well, I don't even want to think about how old I was then, or young, but I was young. And the people that run that store, Miss Teresa, Mr. Jerry, Moran, these are the nicest people you're going to meet anywhere, okay? Some of the nicest I know. They're very friendly. They're genuinely friendly. They're welcoming. You go in their store, and they talk to you as a human being. They're willing to help you out. If you know nothing about comic books, you're buying for a friend, a family member that does, they're going to help you out with that. They're great. So I've given them my business, not just them, but I primarily now give them only my business because that's their income. You could go to Books A Suck and Barnes & Noble, buy the comics there, but man, the condition's going to be bad because people have been like mistreating those comics, and there's none of the service, there's none of the great atmosphere, there's none of the friendliness. So now there's another comic shop in Lafayette. There's also a sports / comic book shop in Scott. Again, not really going to mention more of those two. Anyway, just coming back from there. And if you hear this in time, you might feel compelled to go if you're interested. Acadiana Comics and Collectibles is on, and I'm gonna do this like we all seem to do here in Lafayette in this area. I'm gonna use landmarks, and maybe every human does that. I don't know. But Acadiana Comics is located if you're heading north on Johnston Street. Okay, so you'll have to reverse if you're coming south because I'm not smart enough to do that for you. You're gonna have to do that yourself. But if you're going north on Johnston, when you get to the intersection of Johnston and South College, those familiar with that area, you have where Southside Bakery is. I haven't followed the saga. I just want to eat the burger, so when I'm hungry for one, I'll find out where they are. But you're going to go there to that intersection. You have Albertsons to the left, the big Albertsons shopping center. You're going to go through that light when it's green, mind you. Would be bad otherwise. And you're going to proceed past the bank. There's a bank right after the Albertsons parking lot. And then there's a little shopping center. Now they have this big gyro shop, Greek Lebanese food, and it kind of dominates the shopping center and the landscape. But Acadiana Comics will have a sign with Superman on the kind of like the awning. It's really not an awning. I don't know what you call it. I ain't an architect, right? I'm not a genius. I don't know what you call these things. The roof, I guess, really not the roof, but you'll see the sign, and it's got Superman on it, which is pretty catchy. And that's Acadiana Comics. If you want to go get a free comic, go there. Highly recommend. Now, I didn't just leave this video to tell you about Free Comic Book Day. Why am I making this video? Well, a lot has happened since the last not so big show with Chris Meaux, which aired, last summer. And so I'm leaving this video to kind of inform you, the viewer, of what happened. Or not what happened, nothing happened. Just going to tell you where the status, the update. I know there's people in the cars next to me, and they're like, this guy's talking to himself, because everybody talks like surfers. Like, when I do voices, that's all I can do. Either that or, like, coon-arse people, right? Barry, what you talking about, Barry? You talking to yourself in your car? Ha, Barry, look. And they have a sneer. It's a very important part of the impersonation. The sneer. Oh, Barry, what's up? I like Boudin. Awesome for you. No one cares. Okay, anyway, moving on. Oh, dear Lord. But yeah, the big show with Chris Meaux really began in 2002, okay? 02. And it was, at the time, I didn't have a camera. Cameras back then, you could either get a, what do you call that? Camcorder. Because that was a hard word to remember. You could either get a camcorder, or you didn't have phones, certainly didn't have cameras. No one in 02 was saying, my camera can take pictures and stuff. Right? There was no iPhone, and there weren't even the little cameras that I'm using to film this now, like the Kodak ZI-8, made by Kodak, called the ZI-8. Okay, add over. But there was no flip camera. There were none of these little mini handheld camcorders like I'm using. And so I had to get a friend who had a camera for his own video purposes, and we filmed the show. And we did some episodes. I thought it was good. I had guests on just about every episode. We filmed in some historic Lafayette places. Probably one of the greatest Lafayette landmarks of our time, which was the old Kmart, abandoned Kmart parking lot. And I'll tell you, man, that's history. Now it's Burlington Coat Factory. Like that's epic enough to replace the old Super K parking lot. I mean, where students would ghost ride, and where we can only imagine the other horrible things that went on in that parking lot. But the good thing was the big show with Chris Meaux. Sadly, back then there was no YouTube. We're 3 years out from YouTube at that point in 2002, and so there was no way to put out the big show other than Acadiana Open Channel. And look, I'm sure the Acadiana Open Channel people were nice, and I know because I actually went there in 2002 and I became a certified director/producer, which I guess is still current. I don't know, I even had the ID. But let's face it, AOC, I don't think many people know when stuff comes on there. To get a slot, you have to have a regular series, and you have to have your shows kind of in the can. And it's just, I didn't want to deal with the man, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be on the man's schedule, right? I'm on my schedule, Mo time, okay? So anyway, so that show didn't air. Plus, we had this funny little thing, and I don't know what happened, but those episodes, I was told by my film guy, they disappeared. I don't know how that happens, but somehow it did. And I ain't no computer engineer. I don't know technical stuff, so I don't know how I could have figured out what happened or found out. So that kind of just went by the wayside and never aired. Flash forward to last year, and August of 2011, 2011, the big show with Chris Meaux, 2.0, if you will. 2 point, I don't know how you would do that. Oh. And 2.0 released the first episode, and I started a new job. You know, life has a way of happening, and that can sometimes be true. Like, life happens. It can be an excuse, and that's kind of what happened to me. Like, I got busy, I got wrapped up in a new job, I had more responsibilities than I'd had previously, and you know, and life does happen. I mean, I'm not going to be too hard on myself, but the big show just didn't put the time, the effort into it, and so 2.0 ended in that way. And so now let's get back in the time machine, and now we're back to now, this minute, this moment, May 5th, 2012, and the big show with Chris Meaux 3.0, folks. It's coming. It's going to be the last week in May is what because I still, you know, I got to finish the school year and all that. And those of you who have not followed late night talk show lore, history, whatever you want to call it, have not watched that for your whole life like I have, may not get this reference. But the first guest on the big show with Chris Meaux 3.0 is going to be is kind of like the Bill Murray to my David Letterman. What that means is that when Dave Letterman finally got his own show called Late Night with David Letterman, which I grew up on NBC, his first guest was Bill Murray, who I think is a comedy god. Okay, he's just brilliant, and he was the guest there. And then the whole fiasco happened where Carson exited. They really should have given Letterman the gig. They gave it to that lantern-jawed freak, Jay Leno. Anyway, less said about Leno, the better. Hey, how's everybody doing? I was like, oh, I talk kind of like this, and I talk like that's all he does. He's a sideshow freak. He's got a chin that you could set a coffee cup on, and he talks high and he talks low. The loser. Anyway, anger. Go Coco. Go Conan O'Brien. But they didn't give Letterman the gig, and Letterman's like, well, I'm going to just go to another network. Genius. And he did, and he went to CBS, The Late Show with David Letterman, which I also grew up on. And his first guest there was Bill Murray. So for me, I don't in any way pretend, imagine, fancy myself to be Dave Letterman by far. But he is an inspiration, and I really dig him a lot. And he had Bill Murray twice, and my guest on the big show with Chris Meaux 1.0 was really kind of more of a sidekick than a guest, but it was Roy Pettifies. And for 2.0, he was a guest for the first show, and for 3.0, he will also be the first guest. Now, I recognize that by saying that, I've alienated and probably maybe disturbed many of the people watching this. You no longer want to watch it because you know Roy will be there. I know that his head collects and reflects light in an often violent, disturbing fashion. I'm familiar with that, and I know that. But I ask you to get past that and watch mainly for me, right? I'm the draw. My name's in the title. So, no, I'm picking on Roy, of course, But his head is not as shiny as my legs. I'm wearing shorts right now, and if the sunlight was hitting them directly, it would be like you're just looking at a white screen right now. Trust me. Probably right now, at least 2 or 3 satellites when I step out of this car, the refraction right from the sunlight into my legs back up, it's going to like destroy the satellite's lenses. I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so the Big Show with Chris Meaux 3.0 is going to be coming out in it's going to be coming out in late May. That was my wife calling. And it is going to be, how is it different? I think people are maybe questioning this, and by people I mean maybe 1 or 2 individuals. What is the difference between the Not So Big Show with Chris Meaux, what you're watching now, and the Big Show with Chris Meaux? The difference is this. The Big Show with Chris Meaux has kind of a 3-part structure that is a little more detailed and has a little more to it than the Not So Big Show. For example, the Not So Big Show with Chris Meaux has me only, usually, right? And is more informational and is not doesn't have the content that the Big Show with Chris Meaux has. The Big Show with Chris Meaux has a monologue on current events. It has, given by me, it is my show. 2, it has a guest. And then 3, it has a segment of some kind, various different things that it could be. And so that's the Big Show. It's longer than the Not So Big Show. And I've hopefully designed it in such a way that if you really don't have time to watch the whole thing in its entirety, because it's broken into segments, then you could probably just watch one part and then come back to it later. Like they're in 15 to 60 minute segments. So that's the difference. And the Big Show with Chris Meaux is coming back. And my goal, look, I'm doing the political thing. You notice politicians, Bill Clinton used to do this here all the time, and then so does Barack Obama. I will tell you now that I don't do a good Barack Obama impersonation, but I can do this with my hand. I was doing that subconsciously. Yeah, what was I saying? I'm sorry, I'm driving too. Should probably pay attention to the road. So that's coming, and my goal is to have a monthly Big Show with Chris Meaux, and then also maybe throw in some Not So Big Shows in there to kind of keep the content going. So that's the goal. I'm going to enter, I keep saying enter, I don't know why I say that. I'm going to give you a review of the Avengers film. Not right now, because this video has already gone on long. And I know some people are watching and have already thought of going to watch something else, do something else. So I will do that later, but I want to thank you for watching. I will, of course, release more information, there's no more information to release. The Big Show with Chris Meaux 3.0 episode 1 will be out late May. I hope you watch. And I thank all of those people who've asked in this interim between 2.0 and 3.0. They've said, hey, where's the show? And they've really been supportive. I want to thank everybody who's been there for me in that regard. People who want t-shirts, people who are interested in it. Thank you for that support. Thanks for believing in me. And I hope that you enjoy what's coming. Do I not entertain you? It's from, Gladiator. I'm like Gladiator, Maximus in Gladiator, except without the musculature and natural fighting ability. Okay, thanks for watching. Vaya con Dios.